You worked at JP Morgan Chase.
Yes.
How did it happen?
It's through mentorship.
Okay.
When I got to the United States, everybody told me that I couldn't get a job, a full job like a graduate, because I didn't go to school, university in America. That's what people told me in America when I got to America. So, but then, I've always learned that my brain controls my life. Your brain is the command center. Your legs and your hands are the accessories.
Yes.
If your brain is not working, your hands and your legs are useless, right?
Sure.
And knowledge makes a man unfit for slavery. Once you have knowledge, it's difficult for anyone to be tempted to want to enslave you. Slavery happens when your faculties are not working. Then you become gullible. People can actually say, okay, you stand up, you go and sit down here, and you can't defend
yourself.
So that temptation, okay, so this guy cannot use his brain. Let me now use his head. I get my point. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I got to the US, everybody was saying, oh, you didn't go to university in America. You can't get a job in America. So they were like, I can get jobs like McDonald's, all those fast food. And then by design, God says, soft hustling is not for me. So I can't even get those kind of jobs, even if I want to, because I'll be disqualified. Those jobs require muscles and physical strength. So I started going to the library. So I live in the library every day. When I wake up in the morning, I go to the library. So in the library is where I found that most nations that are developed, if you want to understand how to penetrate to the consciousness of that country, go to the library where they store all of their history. So it was the library that the librarian told me that I need to get a career coach. They will show me how to navigate the corporate America. Or the library that told me I need to get it. Do I have a coach? I said no. Do I have a mentor? I said no. So it's the library that you can get all of that. So now, before the library, when I got to the US, they offered me a housing. They have this mass housing for people that are not employed.
Okay.
So I rejected it. I didn't take it. They were wondering why I didn't take it. Because when you get into any country, they'll process you in. If you want to get a job, go to what they call Texas Workforce Commission, like a job center. They will register you, do all of the things to make sure you get a job. Because the unemployment you'll be getting is for a while until you get a job. And if you're not seeking for a job actively, they won't continue to pay the unemployment. So you have to show that you're looking for a job for you to get your unemployment. And one of the benefits they offered me was to give me a housing. Where do I have a place I can stay and all of that kind of thing. So I rejected the housing offer. The welfare housing offer. Welfare means that the government is supporting you. So when I signed the paper and they said no, that I have a place I can stay, like my sister's place, the white folks were shocked that people really don't reject that. So the next day, they came to my house to be sure that I knew what I was saying.
Wow.
So, and when they come, they asked me that to be sure that I didn't want the housing. I said yes, but they said, please, we just ask you why. I said to them, the mindset for welfare, it's not the mindset for wealth creation. The mindset to receive handout without you creating value for that handout does not support creating wealth.
Wow.
They were really shocked. So what they offered me is every day they sent a bus to my sister's house to now take me for my job hunting. And my librarian told me to go get a career mentor. So I got my career mentor.
Wow.
So my mentor told me. You're talking about how I got my job, right?
Yes.
He said, go, you can get a job anywhere in any organization as far as you went to university. I said, okay, but I didn't go to university in America. He said, it doesn't matter. See, he said, for every philosophy, there is a policy. So what does that mean? He said, philosophy create policies, and policy create rules. So, okay, sir, that sounds very what does that mean? Remember, I was a brand new guy in America.
Sure, yeah.
So I tried to ask him to explain. He said to me that the philosophy of America is that any human being that goes through 16 years of institutionalized education can perform certain tasks. So the issue is that your mind has gone through an institutionalized training with certain exposure, with certain knowledge for 16 years. At the 16th year, it is believed that your mind can comprehend certain concepts and it can be able to do certain things. So that level, it doesn't matter which part of the world you are.
Wow.
As far as there's proof that you have attended certain courses for the next 6, 10, 12, 16 years. So the policy is that now that you must attend university, the philosophy says you must do 16 years of institutionalized education. So in the policy in America is university. Universally, it's representing that 16 years has gone through institutionalized education.
Wow.
So I said, what does that mean? Say, if you can send us, if your school in Nigeria can send us a transcript to prove that you have gone through 4 years of accounting. If the school sends it to another institution in America and the two of them agree that this guy's mind has been exposed, you can use that same degree to apply for a job in America like anybody else that's a graduate in America.
Wow.
And there'll be no discrimination.
Wow. Wow.
I said, oh my God.
Wow.
So I called my school. My school sent my transcript to a company in the US called ECE, Educational Credential Evaluators. They evaluated my transcript and came up with a professional summary that Mr. Ugochukwu Omeogu has an equivalent of US degree in accounting. So they sent me copies. I paid for copies. So they gave me copies. 2 of the copies were put in an envelope and sealed and said not valid if seal is broken. And they gave me 1 extra. Now, meanwhile, that's what my mentor told me. So I said that. Now, I started attending mentoring classes, job hunting, career development. So my mentor can only get paid by the government if I get a job. So the only time he sends a bill to the government to pay him for the mentorship is when what he has taught me has landed me in a job. So the system has a way of empowering people to be empowered, right?
Okay.
So I sent my transcript to the school, to the company. They transcribed it. And my mentor now did a CV for me. My name is Ugochukwu Omeogu, okay? So my mentor said, in that career counseling, said, if you put Ugochukwu Omeogu, most American employers would not want to mess your name up. They probably would not look at your CV because they don't know how to call your names. So he added Charles to my name. So he said my nickname. I gave me a nickname, Charles. So my name became Ugochukwu Charles Omeogu. The Charles is in parentheses.
Wow.
Just like how Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Jackie Chan. Chan is a long name. It's like 16 words. So the American always find a way to shorten it. So we started attending the career course, career training. So he did my CV. My CV had undocumented primary school Aba, Holy Ghost College Owerri, Imo State University. Then served in Central Bank. That's all my CV. That's all I had before I moved to America. No work experience except my educational qualification. So my mentor, after teaching me all this concept, I did some kind of training on how to type without looking at the keyboards. All those skills preparing me for the job market in the United States. So one day they were having a job fair. You know what job fair? Job fair is when you have have trade fair. Okay. So job fair in this context means companies in the local area will come and recruit the people in that area. For example, we have Zenith Bank, GT Bank, Fidelity Bank here, right? So they can come in this area and then open up a small window to hire people around this area because they don't want to hire you in the VI where you're going to be doing transportation. Okay. So they can do job fair in Ikeja, job fair in Surulere. So they will hire the local people there.
People within the environment.
Yes. So they, after doing the job fair, my mentor took me there. But first of all, he asked me, and I was barely 3 months in America, what kind of company do you want to work with? And I'm like, I don't understand. I can work anywhere. I've just came to America, right? I said, no. Do you want to work in Fortune 500 companies? First of all, what is that? That's the top 1%. Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, all the Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all those.
The top of the top.
Yes. And my resume is undocumented from high school, Holy Ghost College, Imo State University. That's my resume. And then, so that's what mentorship is powerful.
Wow.
A mentor can elevate your thoughts beyond your circumstances.
Wow. Elevate your thought beyond your circumstances.
Yes. So he's letting you leverage on his view of life. So you might not see as far as you see, but he sees your potential. He's the one preparing me. He's the one who knows what I can do. I don't know much of what I can do. He knows what is possible for me, even when I'm not aware of it. He says to me, there's a clause in American job opportunities. That's what's called a Polio equal opportunity employer. No employer will discriminate you until they have given you opportunity to prove yourself.
Wow.
He understands all these things.
Wow.
So now he did my CV and then prepared my CV, and I said, okay, well, I should now do JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley. Okay. That's okay. Let's do it. Right? So he took me to the interview. On the interview, the job fair, we have all the white people, just top of the line, world class. And I'm this local upper boy from Imo State University. I've never traveled before in my life.
Wow.
And so when with the job fair, my mentor said to me, you go to the place that you want. If it's JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, take your CV, go and submit it to the HR, because these are HR people there. Submit your CV there. And when you submit your CV, shake the hands of those agents there. Hold their hands so well that it becomes ridiculous. Don't leave their hands. And when it becomes so awkward and ridiculous, that's when you're going to take your hands out.
Wow.
And I'm like, first of all, I'm so scared talking to these guys that are top there, and then I'm going to hold their hands. I'm going to hold their hands so well, so long that it becomes stupid and awkward. So I said, okay, no problem. So when I put my CVs, he goes behind each of the people. So if you're work for Wells Fargo or Bank of America, he goes behind you, and he told me each time I'm holding those hands, I should make sure I make eye contact with him, because he knew I was nervous. So I went with him, and he said to me, put your CV on any of the agents you want. And these are top world, top class, Fortune 500 companies. And he said, but each time I put that thing on any of the agents, and he goes behind the agent, I should shake their hands, I should look at him each time I lose strength. So meanwhile, I felt that the ground should open for me to just swallow there, because I was sweating actually. Wow. So I put my CV, I hold you. My name is Ugochukwu Omeogu, and today is Wednesday, and the grass is green outside. The birds are. My brain has to manufacture what to say so that I can keep on holding the hands. And at some point, it becomes so awkward and so ridiculous. The person will have to take the hands out, and I'm so scared.
So shaky.
My mentor will move to the next person, ask me to go to the next person. I'm still trying to catch my breath from the first one. He's asking me to go to the next one. I was shaking, literally shaking, visibly
shaking,
vibrating. So I did all of that. So I came out. I said, sir, that was worse than that. Wow. So you know what he said to me? No. So every other person that came there for that particular job fair acted normal. Everybody was the same thing. You're possibly the only person that is odd. And what that means is, when they leave that place, they say, do you remember that young man? Something is wrong with him. It's crazy. And guess what? This is what's his name. You gotta look at your file and bring out your resume and put it on top.
Wow.
So which means, amongst all the people that came out, my mentor made sure I stood out.
Wow.
So we left. They now called me for interviews. How did they call me for interview? I came back to the house, my sister's house. One day, because I'm checking the phone. My sister had this voice note. Voice note you can call, and then people leave a voice note for you on the phone. So each time I'm coming back, go out and come back, I check the voice note. So one day I came back and I pressed the phone, I checked the voice note. I heard, hello, Mr. Charles, this is Kathy Woods from JP Morgan. Please do give us a call if you're ready for interview tomorrow, Thursday by 10 a.m. So I didn't think anything about it. I went to bed. 12 a.m. I remembered my name was Charles.
I totally forgot.
My name is not Charles. I didn't remember. It was 12 a.m. I remember. I called my mentor 12 a.m. in the morning. I said, Mr. Charles Lafontaine, I got a call by JP Morgan. They asked me to come for interview tomorrow. And I don't know what to do. He said, no problem. Said, relax. And my mentor told me, each time I call you, make sure you have a pen and paper to write. Because my words to you are instructions, not advice. I said, what's the difference? Advice you can choose to take, but instructions you must follow.
You must follow.
That's classical. Wow. That's classical. So I took a pen and paper that morning and I started writing. I said, okay, when they get to the office, to the interview, before they ask you any question, I should ask them what are the job function for that particular role. I should make sure I ask that question. And he has already told me that interview is a mutual discussion for mutual benefits. They're trying to figure out how they can be of use to you, how you can be of use to them. So they're not doing you a favor. They need you. But when I came back to Nigeria, interviews like you're going to heaven. Job interviews like people go to do fasting and prayer.
That's true.
Do Thanksgiving. Like somebody's about to go.
Wow,
but it's a mutual relationship. Okay, so if I get there, I should ask them what is the job function for the position that's been advertised. And guess what? When they're telling you the job function, that I should write the things they're telling me down. I said, okay. He said, because in the course of the interview, there's a particular question that they will ask you. They must ask you that. They would ask you, tell us what you can do for us. So I should repeat those things they told me as the job function as what I'm going to do for them.
Wow.
So I got there.
Wow.
And the way it is, remember during the career training, he has developed my skills on how to type, how to evaluate, financial books and all that.
Wow.
So when I got to the place, there's a place you get to. There's nobody, you're not going to see anyone. The reception, nobody's there. You just press a bell. They'll speak to you through the intercom and ask you, there's a computer at the lobby. Please click the computer and do the test. You don't see anyone.
Wow.
And then when you get there, the test will show up. But I've done the practice for the test. So I get there, the system will open up and the system will give you maybe 10 minutes.
You were ready.
If you don't do it in 10 minutes, the system will log you out. And when the system logs you out, the voice will tell you, sorry, you didn't meet the criteria.
Wow.
So, but when I got there, everything they were asking me, my mentor has already prepared me.
Wow.
So I got there and I opened the system, thinking by touch, typed, and then answered the questions. Once I asked the questions and the system says successful, the door opened, somebody came out. Coming. So which means if you were not competent enough, the system kicks you out without emotional attachment.
Without emotional attachment.
To anybody. Because you're not going to see anyone. So when I finished it, somebody opened the door and asked me to come in. And I saw 2 white women and 1 white guy and 1 black guy. And then interview started. Meanwhile, during my course of my career, I've improved my spoken English. I have learned about American English, the dictions on how to pronounce some of the words for American people. All of those things were preparing me for what is ahead of me. So during the interview, the first one I asked, hello, ma'am, good morning. Please, may I know what is the job function for the position that's advertised? As they were saying, I said, please give me a moment. I was writing everything down. So we got into the conversation, interview was going back and forth. And then finally, it came to the same question. So tell us what you can do for us.
Wow.
And guess what I did?
You said the same thing.
I just repeated exactly what they said. That's what I'm going to do for them. And that's how I got my job with JP Mortgages back in the United States.
This is so interesting. This is so interesting. Wow.